Thank you so much for inviting me to present here. We've been working with BAM Nuttall for quite a few months now. We've developed the world's first intelligent ear defenders that allow you to communicate in noise and do real-time mapping of noise hazards and personal dosimetry. I'm going to present a little bit about the background on that and how we've been using it with BAM Nuttall. So what are the common elements of leading companies in the engineering industries? Effective communication, risk management, monitoring and mitigation, and health and safety responsibility. And when these are lacking, you end up with delays, increased costs and reputational damage. So across all heavy industries, there are certain things that tie people together and tie companies together. Ineffective communication. This poor guy made a quick getaway. If only somebody had told him at the top to stop. The cost of corrections in the UK construction industry are quite remarkable. Really runs to about 15 or 20% of all costs. And a lot of it is down to ineffective communication. Lack of risk management, monitoring and mitigation. This was only in 2015 in the Netherlands. Two cranes placing a bridge component into place, and as you can see, it toppled over, causing loss of life and property. And the report from the Dutch Safety Board said it was never going to work. It was never going to be a successful operation because the planning simply wasn't in place. But for me personally, with all of these ideas around productivity and efficiency and health and safety, at the centre are the people. I started off life as a doctor, working in hospitals in ear, nose and throat. And I spent about 10 years fitting hearing aids to people who had lost their hearing. And eventually, got to the point where I realised, well, actually, this is something that's really only preventable. There's certainly no cure. And maybe in 10 years, 15 years' time, we might have genetic modifications that allow us to cure these things, but there's certainly nothing available in the short term. So I shifted and I left away the academic world and the medical world into the entrepreneurial and commercial world, and we developed this product to prevent hearing loss. So the world's first intelligent ear defenders, and critically it's designed with the users and not for the users. In our company we have a very, at our core it's human-centered design, because I was working with hearing aids and it was all about the engineers producing a product and then somebody else having to deal with it. So along the whole process of development of this product we've been speaking with the users and with the decision makers as well, what's important. So the headsets do three things. The first one is communication, picks up and transmits speech and noise, and importantly integrates wirelessly into any of your existing communication infrastructures, whether it be smartphones or radios or something else. Health and safety compliance. The headsets, of course, reduce harmful noise levels, but they let through speech and environmental sounds, which actually eliminates the need to remove the hearing protection. From working in the clinics, I would speak to people every day about why they had resulted in their hearing loss, and often it was because they had to remove their hearing protection in the workplace to be able to communicate. And you may have heard before people saying, "I'd rather be deaf than dead." And if you're working on a construction site, often your hearing is something that isn't really considered if you need to have environmental awareness. And therefore it eliminates the need to remove the hearing protection because you can actually communicate in noise with the headsets on. And we've got the headsets in the back for demonstrations. And the most innovative thing from my perspective, and also we know from the customer's perspective, is the risk monitoring and mitigation. So the headsets actually record noise data and link it to location and time. And with that information, health and safety officers can know where the risks are and the hazards are in real time. Eliminates the costly and time-consuming process of manually reporting on noise exposures and dosimetry, which are actually not correct in most cases. And you can know what degree of protection is required at any given moment when you're entering a site. So it's a complete system. It's hardware and software working in harmony. And we've got a number of case studies with heavy industry companies doing really complex engineering projects. We work with companies that are looking ahead, who are looking to see what the future looks like. And a key part of that is real-time monitoring with actionable data. So before something's gone wrong, get an indicator and do something about it. So we worked with 9 Elms down in Vauxhall, and we were able to install a system on that site, 6 headsets set up, and we were able to produce these noise maps in real time for the guys working down there. We did a number of pre-trial surveys and post-trial surveys, so for us it's very important to continually get the updates and the feedback from users in the field, and we're working with a number of different organisations within the UK. So thank you very much for listening, and very happy to speak to anybody afterwards.